Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will show you how to use PMI mindset during the examination. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to look at a scenario-based question and select the right answer. So let's get started. Let's start with the pattern of the question before even trying to know the strategy of how to answer a PMP question. In the PMP exam, each question describes a real-world project scenario. As the project manager, you are expected to choose the most appropriate action from the given options. Questions will be based on the following keywords. They are first, next, best, except, or not. These keywords decide answers to the question. First, what comes first as per the sequence? Next, requires immediate action. As a project manager, you are supposed to take immediate action when some action will be triggered. Best, that is PMI's ideal selection or requires PMI's mindset. For example, there will be a scenario where PM has to select the answer and at least two options will be very close to the answer. In such scenario, you have to select the answer depending on the PMI's mindset or ideal selection. The last one is accept or not. It requires elimination. In this slide, let's discuss about how to understand the given question. Understand the intent of the question by reading the question completely. And if the question is lengthy, you can either skim through the question to know the context, or you can also highlight the keywords and focus on the last point to know the ask. This is most crucial because at least 30 to 40% of the PMP questions would be in this pattern. Next, check for the keywords in the end of the question like what should you do first, next, or best. This we already discussed in earlier slide. And what is the project methodology? Like it would be predictive, adaptive, or hybrid. This is important because as a predictive methodology, you will have a different approach like change process, and as an adaptive methodology, you will have a different approach for the change process. What is the domain? Either people, process, or business environment. And next one is what is the risk? Risk is something a future phenomenon, and issue is something which has already happened. So risk has keywords like maybe, might be. So these meanings will make you understand whether it's a risk or an issue, because risk has a different approach, issue has a different approach. So as and when you read the question, should be able to comprehend what the question is really asking. So let's focus on selection of most appropriate answer using following strategies. Number one, narrow down by eliminating incorrect answers. Remove extreme answers. As a professional and ethical project manager, we never use following methods such as terminate, punish, delay, overwork, and blame. Remove escalate option unless it is really required. Remove incorrect option which does not match with the question. For example, if there is an agile question and the option has something related to change request process, you can easily eliminate this option as change request process is not followed in agile methodology. Next, let's move on to selection strategy mindset. Collaborative problem solving. As a project manager, you are expected to work with the team to solve any of the problem. Never take an action immediately. As a project manager, you are expected to reassess and analyze the situation before taking any action. Communication. You might be knowing that majority of the project managers' work involves communication. Hence, most of the communication problem can be resolved through effective communication. Example, if there is any problem with stakeholder, you can directly meet the person before taking any action. Conflicts. And as a project manager, you might have to deal with multiple conflicts. So solving this at lowest level before escalating is the best option. PMI expects reasoning over memorization. This is crucial because PMI expects you to understand the PMBOK process and how do you apply in real world scenario. Hence, by using following strategies, you can select most appropriate answers. Time management is most crucial to appear for a PMP exam. Let's analyze the timings. Total question is 180 and total time available to answer 180 questions is 230 minutes. And if you break it down further, average time per question is 1 minute and 15 seconds. Exam strategy. Stay calm because cracking the PMP exam is like running a mental marathon. It tests knowledge, focus, and endurance. So it is utmost important to stay calm during the exam. Don't get stuck. Pick the best guess and flag it for review. This will save your time. Take breaks. You will have 2 breaks, and it is recommended to take these breaks so that it will reset your mind and move forward. Trust your first instinct and move on. Sometimes you might change your mind and go for other option. So instead of this, it's always better to go with first instinct. And monitor the timer which shows the remaining time. Thereby you can manage the remaining time wisely. After learning all the strategies, let's look at an example. Question. Project manager is leading a complex project. The customer requests a change that has a high impact on market success. The sponsor instructs the project manager to implement the change immediately. What should the project manager do? Options are work with the team to implement the change immediately, submit a change request and evaluate the impact, collaborate with the product owner to reprioritize the backlog, and ask the customer to wait since the project is complex. Once you understand the question, let's look at the option and see how we can eliminate the incorrect ones. First, work with the team to implement the change immediately. As the word says change immediately, you can make this or mark this as incorrect option. Submit a change request and evaluate the impact. This looks to be a reasonable answer, so let's park this. Collaborate with the product owner to reprioritize the backlog. This is related to agile. So let's think of this later. And last option is ask the customer to wait since the project is complex. No, we never do that. We never ask the customer to wait. So among all the options, B seems to be a reasonable answer, which has submit a change request and evaluate the impact. Yes, this also goes well with the process of change request, like submitting a change request first and evaluating the impact. After learning all strategies, let's summarize them quickly. Understand the intent of the question. Eliminate the incorrect options using narrow down strategy. Select the most appropriate answer using PMI mindset only. Practice tests and mock exams. The more you practice the tests and mock exams consistently and understanding your weak areas, you'll be able to crack the exam easily. And last but not the least is manage your time wisely. Thanks for watching. Your support means a lot. Subscribe for more PMP and leadership insights. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment.